what's up? Today we are talking about whether it is possible to become credit score qualified in just 60 days. And you and I need to get real about this, because here's my question. If I hopped on the phone right now and I called you and I said, hey Jane, hey John, guess what? I have an amazing, once in a lifetime opportunity, and it's super simple. I can get you score qualified for a mortgage in just 60 days, regardless of the negative items that you have on your credit report. I don't care if it's a bankruptcy or charge-offs or anything really for that matter. We can get you credit score qualified and you're gonna get that mortgage. You would hang up on me. You can't even sit here and tell me that you wouldn't literally slam that phone down and be like, wow, I can't believe that a scammer just called me and said that. Yet, I have people who all the time jump on the phone with me and say, hey, I've got collections and charge-offs and repos and foreclosures and this, that, and the third, and I only have a 4 or 5 or 600 credit score, and I need in 60 days to remove those negative items, increase my credit score 1, 2, or 300 points, and become score qualified to go and get that mortgage or that car or that personal loan. Well, I'm here to tell you, no, it is not possible. And you can thumbs down all you want and say whatever you want about it, but I'm here today to tell you that I've been doing this for 12 years and no, honey, it is not possible, okay? There is a way to go and get these mortgages and these HELOCs and the cars and the personal loans and anything that you want. But there's two things that you need to do. Number one, you need to sacrifice. You need to sacrifice. Don't go out and get those 200, 300, 400, 500 credit builder loans and credit cards and installment loans and whatever. That's number one. And number two, invest in yourself right now. Put that time in. Just sit back, chill, relax, remove those negative items, and then go out and get that mortgage. Because I've been saying this for a long time. A lender is much more likely going to give you, right, a $500,000 or a $200,000 mortgage or a $30,000 vehicle than they will a $2,000 personal loan. Now, tell me why that is. Well, here's the big reason. They can go out and they can swoop that house, right? They can come right and kick your ass out that house and get that house back, and then they're gonna recoup their money most of the time, right? Or they can come repossess your vehicle, right? That's the truth behind it. But once you go and get that $2,000 loan or the $2,000 credit card, they can't get that money back. They have to pay more money to either go after you with collections or the courts or whatever when they already lost out on that $2,000 initially, right? Who wants to do that? They don't want to do that, right? And here's another question. What do all of these different industries or businesses or whatever you want to call it have in common? Commission. And if you understand where I'm going with this, smash that like. Here's the deal. Everybody knows, unless you don't know, when you go and you get a mortgage, they say, hey, John, you know what? Not only am I going to help you get this house as your realtor, but I also know an inspector. I also have someone that is going to be your, mortgage attorney. I also have this person. I also have that person. But you know who they don't have? What is missing from that scenario? Everybody is there that they can refer you to, except for the person who's going to remove those negative items, the person who's going to increase your score, the person who is going to get you to where you can be score qualified. And here's another question. Why wouldn't they? If they could, right? If they had someone, let's just say in their office, right? We have the loan officer, we have this person, we have that person, and then over here in this office, same hallway, we also have the dude or the chick that is going to increase your score and remove your negative items. Why wouldn't they do that? Well, it's because it's inconsistent, right? Not everybody removes their stuff in 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 120 days, or even a year. You can't even tell me with a straight face that you are guaranteed to remove your negative items from your credit report. And if you do tell me that legally, right? Legally, okay, let's add that in there, legally, then you are 300% bullshitting everybody, like including yourself, right? Because you're believing your own lies. And that is definitely not the way that it works. You cannot guarantee anybody anything that you cannot control, right? You can ask your husband or your wife to take the garbage out or do the dishes, but unless you literally manhandle them and make them go and, throw something out, yes, this is my bubbly that I drink, then you're not going to be able to force them to do it, right? This is the exact same thing. The same as if you get in trouble, you go to court and, your lawyer says, hey, John, you know what? I've been doing this for 25 years. That weed's nothing. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty certain that I'll be able to just get you like a fine or something. He can't say, or she, hey, John, dude, I absolutely know this judge and the DA, the prosecutor, not even a problem. We went to college together. So I guarantee you that you're going to be able to get out of here scot-free. Don't even worry about it. No, they would never do that. Even the highest paid attorneys cannot guarantee you anything because they cannot control the outcome. And that's because they cannot force the judge or the DA or even a jury in a trial to sway one way or another, other than by presenting their evidence and everything else like that, right? So this is the exact same thing. Now, back to commission, okay? So because the one thing that is missing from the mortgage process is commission, the same thing for car dealerships, right? If a car salesman does not sell a car, okay, I used to work in the car sales industry. I used to actually sell cars, and I was accounts payable and receivable, right? Now, if they don't sell a car, they do not eat for the week. They do not, feed their family or their children, right? And it's the same thing for mortgage, and it's the same thing for loan officers. So all of this has to do with commission. That is why this is right here. What do all of these things have in common? They have in common that the one thing that is not included in any of this is the person that fixed the credit, right? Because if one that could fix credit in 60 days or 30 days or whatever, then you would go into the dealership not even caring or worrying about your collections and maybe your few late payments or whatever, and they'd be like, hey, John, you know what? I'm looking at your credit report here, and I do see that we have a couple of late payments on here, and don't even worry about that medical collection, right? Well, I'm gonna have you sit down with John over here, or Jane, or Pablo for that matter, and they're going to start the paperwork to get your late payments and that collection that I'm not worried about removed, and we're also going to move forward with your application and the paperwork to do your vehicle. And you know what, it's all going to coincide at the same time, so your delivery for your vehicle, instead of today, it's going to be in about 60 days. I mean, that's fair enough, right? Because we can get you a great interest rate at just 5% instead of the 26% that you would otherwise get if I didn't have you sit down with Jane, John, or Pablo. Dude, that's exactly how it would go. So is it possible to A, remove your negative items, B, get your score where it needs to be, so score qualified, so let's just say 640 to a 740, and go out and get that mortgage in 60 days. 60 days. No, it is not. It is not. And there's not anybody anywhere that can tell me anything other than that. And the same thing goes for exactly as I mentioned in the beginning of this. If I called you on the phone right now and said, hey, I can get you this in just 60 days, you would hang up on me because you know for a fact, beyond a shadow of doubt, you know for a fact that that is not true. So what do you do? If you have a short period of time that you're trying to do things in, well, I mean, if you get on a call with me and you're talking about timing, I'm automatically going to tell you I don't take anybody into my program that has any sort of time frame. I only have 30 days. I only have 3 months. Well, bureaus don't care about your time frame, honey. Okay, so you probably should have thought about that 2 years ago when you just let these sit here for these 2 years. Okay, so what you can do is you can take the time to not go buck wild and get these stupid $200, $300, $500 credit cards or these loans, and instead remove those negatives, get the other types of credit that we talked about the other day for building credit for beginners. And then when you have a nice little fleshed out credit, you can then go and apply for something that is significantly larger before you go and you get that house or that loan or that car. Okay, that is not only called sacrifice, but it is called being an astute consumer. Okay, because they don't want to lend people money or houses or vehicles when all they see is these stupid little $200 cards and whatever. Why is someone gonna give you $200,000 when they see that you just have this $200 on here? They're not gonna want to do that, right? So you have to be very smart in the way that you are approaching your action plan when it comes to building out your credit. Just because you can get whatever that it is, doesn't mean that you should. And you should look at your credit file when it comes to applying and building the same way that a lender would, okay? Not you, the consumer, who wants to do it as fast as humanly possible, but from a lender's point of view. And that's going to help you to, A, get those negative items off, B, increase your credit score, and C, get the type of credit that you want to, okay? So I'm not here to burst your bubble. I'm not here to make it seem like this is a scary process. That's not what I do. You know, I'm not the big bad wolf. But I am here to tell you that there is a specific way to do this, right? Gurus, they want you to believe that this is just some overnight process where you can remove your negative items. And I have yet to see any of these people, these real consumers who did have it come off in 60 days or 30 days or 14 days come back and prove that they did. And the reason is it does not exist. If it did, do you think that I would be here for 8 years on YouTube with over 800 videos proving to you that that is not true? Don't you think that I would just jump on that bandwagon? Like, why not? Less work for me, more money for me, right? I mean, obviously, you know, I run a business, right? I mean, as a business owner, don't you want to make money? That's what you do it for, right? I mean, obviously, you know, there's other reasons, but yeah, that is exactly what I would do. So if it were as simple as just everybody sending out this one-size-fits-all letter to get things off in 30 days or 60 days or 15 days or even instantly for that matter, then I would be that first person proving to you that, you know, again, I'm not here to dissuade you or make you think that this is just impossible to reach your goals, because it's not the goal that's unrealistic. It is the timing and it is the process there that is unrealistic, okay? So credit repair is real. Credit sweeps are real. Removing your negative items can happen, just not in the timing that everybody purports it to actually occur in, okay? And then as far as sacrifice goes, like, sacrifice, that's like something that nobody wants to talk about, okay? So if you want to get to the mortgage, you have to save money, right? And you can save money and have more money without working more and like going out and getting a, you know, fifth job. I talked about that the other day, but it's not as difficult as, you know, you may think it actually be, if that's the right way to say it. So just as an example, we were able to save $45,000 in 3 years just by relocating. So instead of paying $2,200 per month in rent, we went down to $600, and we took that $15,000 in that year. It was actually more than that, but just for understanding purposes here, and times 3 years is, what is the grand total? $45,000, right? So I'm not telling you that you have to go out and move. I'm not telling you to do anything like that. I'm just saying, as an example, sacrifice can get you way, way more without having to go out and work more or work harder, okay? I mean, you know, this costs money, right? Bubbly. I don't know if it's like, what, $4 per 10 or 12 cans or something. Well, you know what? I can drink water out of the faucet, right? I mean, I can take my skateboard or my bicycle, if obviously it's a shorter distance, than if I jump in my car, which is, you know, it's a V8 engine, my Mercedes. So is my truck and my Scat Pack. I mean, that's a lot of gas, right? I could conserve gas. I can, you know, not drink this, like I mentioned. I can, you know, spend less money on groceries and plan better. I can not go to, you know, the gas station and get Starbucks. All of these things add up. And when you're literally looking at like your totals for the month, when you're like budgeting, and you should start budgeting and tracking where your money goes, possibly even with an app like, what is it, Money Rocket? Rocket Money? Rocket Money. It used to be, was it True Bill or Bill something? I don't know. It's now Rocket Money, okay? But you can literally list everything that you pay and get rid of everything that you don't need. Like, do you pay for Netflix? Do you really need Netflix? Do you pay for Amazon? Like, do you really need Amazon? Some people will say yes, but what about your cable bill? Do you really need your cable? I mean, is it really that important? Can't you just stream stuff from the internet? So these are things that you should start thinking about, because you take all that money when people are starting to say, oh, well, I don't have money for a down payment. I don't have money for this. I don't have money for that. I don't have money. Well, first of all, if your credit is where it needs to be, then you don't need a down payment. We just went and got a Mercedes. Well, my husband got me a Mercedes for our anniversary. No money down. Only one inquiry. Okay, so we were only able to do that because of the credit score, right? But we had to sacrifice to be able to get there. Now, if you're worried about down payments on things, then you need to decrease how much you have in expenses, which will increase your savings, which you can then go and put towards a mortgage or a vehicle or whatever it is that your goal is, okay? And if you didn't know any of this, make sure to smash that like. One thing that I didn't mention in the beginning that I normally do mention is this is the link right here. If you want to fix your credit but don't know how to do it, don't care about any of this, you just want to get the mortgage and the vehicle and the loans and all that without having to do any of the hard lifting, go to that link, schedule a call with me. I will see if I can help. But as far as bringing it back to the beginning, if it is possible to get these things off in 60 days, the answer is no. I'm sorry, it's not. Now, even though I shouldn't be apologizing because it's not my fault, you do need to realize that there is a process to this, and when you implement that process, you can get these things off, but the word here is process. If you think about Cushman versus TransUnion from 1997, or any of these other lawsuits that you should know about because you can use them in your, dispute letters to the credit bureaus and whatnot, familiarize yourself. Those people who went and did these lawsuits had to go above and beyond through these processes, right? They went way beyond the end of it and, appeals courts and all that kind of stuff so that they can make this heard in public for you. It wasn't like they just sent one letter, it went where it needed to go, they got their negative items off and, boom. No. So even though it is going to take you a little bit of time to achieve the goals that you have, just remember that when you get to the end of it, you're not going to have any of these issues anymore as long as you change your habits. And that's another video that we're going to be going and talking about how to change your habits. And it's actually so it is going to be live. We'll talk about that very, very soon, but it's Financial University, Dave Ramsey, and if you are interested, you will see another video soon, or we'll go live, and there will be a link for you to actually join this workshop, okay? I don't know if it'll be via Zoom or whatever, but anyways, that is coming soon. So I'm gonna stop rambling. I have too many things that are connected, and I don't have that much time to go over it. I have calls and families and clients and all that kind of stuff that I have to get to. So I will see you later. Make sure again to smash that like, subscribe if you haven't done so that you can get your negative items removed, because there are things that I know that you probably need to know that are going to help you accomplish this. So that is it. Have a great day.